Hello, Pisces friends. Welcome to my January 2025 reading specifically for Pisces placements, Sun in Pisces, Moon in Pisces, Pisces rising, whatever your Pisces placement, this is for you. This is another layer on top of the foundation for that I put in the introduction. So hopefully listen to that first and we can drill down into the specifics of what it will be like to be a Pisces this month, this year. So 2025 is your year to elevate and to expand and to transform. So it's not just about stepping into the light, it's about radiating the light so brightly that you create a ripple effect in every corner of your life and it extends out beyond you and influences other people. So this is a very exciting beginning to the new year. Talk about short-term highlights of planets that are moving quickly and giving you opportunities, but they'll be more fleeting. And we'll talk about some long-term highlights. So we have the Sun and Pallas Athena and soon to be Mercury all in Capricorn. And this is your time to dream big. Okay, this spotlight is on your long-term goals. Because Mars is in retrograde and Jupiter, the bringer of expansion, is in retrograde, this might not be a time where you see massive expansion on these big goals that you have, but it certainly is a time to add strategy to them, to add clarity to them. And with Mercury finally out of the web of the retrograde, and just moving forward with all steam, ahead, full steam ahead, you'll have more clarity. That factor will be something that does make it feel like a new year in that way, even though we are kind of in a sleepy bit of a start because of the other retrogrades. But because this 11th house is the house of your big dreams, not the ones you have at night. That's the 12th house, and you have a very full that area too. But this is your big dreams, so the fact that we have this energy of retrograde, and all of this energy of the 11th house being activated, this is an invitation to reconnect with your old allies and maybe even your old enemies, to revisit this unfinished group project or to refine your vision that you have for the future that involves a community or involves your creativity going towards something greater than yourself. The energies of Capricorn are very strategic. Pallas Athena is very strategic. This is about laying out a plan, taking manageable steps towards your bigger dreams that will seem to expand much more quickly as we get into February, because first of all, Mars will go direct in February, and even though we have a long post-shadow period, you will feel that movement of going direct. Jupiter will go direct, and Jupiter builds skyscrapers. Skyscrapers are trying to be built in your communication and expression and education sector through the sign of Gemini. These skyscrapers are trying to be built in your home and your family and your housing and your inner world. And if you've ever seen a skyscraper being built, I'm from New York City, so I've watched this happen many times. It seems like they're working down in the earth forever. Like, what the heck are they doing down there? Turns out that the taller your skyscraper, the more work you have to do to counterbalance that tall swinging and swaying, and so you need a strong foundation basically. And when Jupiter is going retrograde, things that were expanding last fall or the spring for you all down under, and if they came to a halt, then you feel forsaken by Jupiter, it's because it's going to work on this foundation. It was starting this process of building the skyscraper, and then they got the word, hey, we need a little foundational work done here. And then you're getting your foundation shored up so that your skyscraper can climb very quickly and beautifully and strongly very soon here, okay? So that expansion in those areas of your life are waiting to happen, and you've got some steps to take in the inner realms. Some things you have to do actively. Sometimes some of this is an unconscious process. Sometimes things are going on behind the scenes where you don't even know about it. But it is happening, and that's explains any slowdowns if you've noticed that. Now back to this 12th house. Pluto here now for 20 years, long-term transit. The sun will get here short term. The moon is there at the beginning of the month. And then on the 29th of January, we'll have that brilliant new moon in Aquarius at 10 degrees. And Venus is in Aquarius just for the first few days. Mercury will get to be in Aquarius this month. All of this is activating your 12th house. And this means your intuition is glowing like a beacon. So you can take this time to tune into your inner world. Between the 12th house focus and the 4th house focus, this is very much about your inner world. And this is an invitation to explore your dreams, to explore those landscapes. In some cases, barren, in some cases, fertile, in some cases, mysterious, just mysterious. And whatever it is, all of this energy here is an invitation to uncover these hidden layers of your psyche. So you could be receiving cosmic downloads, and you can trust what bubbles up. This is a major cleansing period. This is a healing period. This is an internal retrospective period. In general, the retrogrades are a time to wait on the shore and let the waves bring things to you. I always think of these waves as the retrograde tides coming in. You try to put something out on those tides and it gets bounced right back to you. So it's not the best time to try to launch something far and wide. It's the best time to hang out and see what comes to you to be dealt with and to not try to conjure. Same thing with being the spider in the web. We're still in this web time. You will feel certain things start to move forward because, Mercury is direct. But we're still very much in retrograde. So you're being the spider and you're waiting for food to come to you instead of going out and trying to make things happen. And all of this is very much matching this retrograde, internal, deeply retrospective energy. So Mars, its story in retrograde has been in September. It was going forward in Cancer, which is your 5th house, making you very focused on romance and children and creativity and fun. And then it went into your 6th house after that, focusing on, again, 5th house stuff, creativity, romance, because it moved out of the house of Leo, but it moved into the sign of Leo. So this very long-term focus on, passion and expression. And then it went in retrograde and it was moving through Leo. And again, also 6th house has to do with your health and your pets. A lot of focus could be there, your day-to-day work schedule, your daily routine. And then it will retrograde back into Cancer and, will be focused a lot on there. This is a good thing for Pisces because this creates a trine with the water sign. It wasn't as favorable and easy and smooth once it was in Leo, but now that it's going to be back here in Cancer, it will be making those trines. So you can expect more blessings with your romantic world, true love, children, creativity, your bucket list, your hobbies, etc. In general, when Mars is in retrograde, it's like the cosmos are pressing a pause on your daily grind, especially here in the 6th house, which is where it starts out the month. So the retrograde process that you have in this house of health and routine has been giving you incentive to rework your schedule and to refine your habits and to approach your work-life balance with fresh eyes. As it dips back into the 5th house, it will give you the invitation to rework how you express yourself creatively, to energize your romantic sector, to breathe life back into the relationships that you have, or, people may come from the past. You can also channel this energy into this rediscovery process. I love the word rediscover for the retrogrades because it's like you're going back to things that really worked for you, and you can be also experimenting with trying things on. Retrogrades, like I said, aren't a great time to launch something giant because the tides will throw it right back to you. But it is a good time to experiment with low stakes things that could become high reward things. Okay, so one important thing to know, we talked at length about the Pluto-Mars clash at the beginning of the month. I'm just going to bring it back up here because I just want to talk about how it's specifically hitting for Pisces. Okay, so it's on the line between your 5th and 6th house and your 12th and 11th house, which means that there are many different ways that this can manifest. This can be purely internal. This can be having to do with your health, your psychology, your consciousness. And this could have to do with other people and your creative talents and your networks. So it can explode outwardly, in your outer world within, your relationships, or it can be kind of inner turbulence where you're working something out within yourself, or it could be both. And ultimately it does wind up being both. Another date to note as we're talking about this fifth house is the days around January 13th. And this is the Cancer full moon at 24 degrees. So fullness, completion, fruition, possibly drama, for better or worse, hopefully for better, since this is in a trine formation for you, to home and family and housing and real estate, or to anything fifth house, which we've talked about at length, the children, the romance, the creative projects. So there's fullness, there's elucidation that's coming to this storyline for you. And those of you, everyone in the zodiac can benefit from it or experience it however they're going to. All water signs have a chance to have this be, more pronounced and in a wonderful aspect, delivering amazing things. And if you're a late degree Pisces, so like birthday is around March 15th through the rest of the sign, or Pisces degrees like 23 degrees through the rest of the sign, the same people basically who I suggested that you list, or actually I didn't, but I will now. You all late degree friends, I suggest you listen to the Aries report too, because you very late degree friends will benefit for both readings. But those of you in that late degree spectrum, and we'll even kind of inch it a little bit further and say like March 11th through the rest of the sign, and the closer to like 16th, 17th, 18th, or 23, 24, 25 degrees, the more you may get a kiss from this full moon. Now, the discussion about the eclipses is very especially important since you're a Pisces and we are in the midst of a very long Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle. So at the end of kind of the second half of last year, we started a new Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle, which will be in effect until 2027. We had the second to last chapter of the Aries Libra eclipse cycle that has been doing me versus we stuff since early 2023. And will continue into the first half of 2025. So we have the Aries Libra eclipse cycle that is, redoing your relationship with yourself, redoing your relationship with others, and specifically in the Pisces chart is activating your earned income versus your shared income, your money versus other people's money, and your financial consciousness versus your financial manifestation, basically your money. And this is, a moment of personal reinvention as it relates to your finances. So you get to shed your old skin, step into your power, your financial empowerment, and embrace this new chapter, new series of chapters of self-discovery within the financial and material realms. And also the less material riches. This polarity is about riches, material and immaterial riches. The eclipses or energy is going to be most strong in March and April, but 4 to 6 weeks and sometimes even 8 weeks before the first eclipse in the series, the bubbles start to, the heat starts to get up on the pot of the eclipses. So, March and April, the bubbles will be steaming and everything bubbling all over the place. But here in January, the heat is just starting to come up, some little bubbles, some news, some activity is going to start coming in these sectors. Okay, so you'll see some similar themes that came up and you'll see this start to manifest. And it could be in the second half of January. It's going to help you redefine your relationship with yourself and with other people. And of course, these resources. Now, the big star here with the Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle is going to put this me versus we still. So you have me versus we, my stuff versus our stuff. These are the stories that are going on. And this Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle. So the Aries Libra one is the one we're having the final chapter of right now coming up. The Pisces Virgo eclipse cycle that's in the Aries Libra houses for Pisces. So basically you're having all of these years in a row of me versus we, because as soon as me versus we through Aries Libra eclipse cycle is finishing, you're continuing to have me versus we through the house of the 1st and 7th house, which is ruled by Aries and Libra. You might have to listen to that a few times to get it, but you're basically not getting out of reshuffling around your energy, autonomy versus synergy, interdependence versus dependency and independence, etc. And that's what this is about. You're really trying to establish the places where you've been too dependent and shore up your energy. You're trying to sort out the places where you've been afraid of intimacy and missing out on shared connections and shared resources. And, that is going to be activated. So when you're in an eclipse cycle, that has to do with your sign, this really is a chapter of self-discovery and a whole new book of self-discovery, so your identity, your confidence, your individuality, all of this is, basically about owning your own magic and figuring out what that is and stepping forward with that more confidently and with more certainty. The eclipses here in your second and eighth houses are also very much about, your sense of self-worth as it relates to money. And you're planting the seeds for more material independence and rethinking your relationship with abundance. So, these deep soulful transformations are calling your name with this eighth house involvement, and you can embrace the mystery of these shared resources in the intangible and intimacy and inner healing realms. And so, this is pretty much your alchemical moment to turn challenges into gold. If you resonate with my work, please like, subscribe, click the bell so that my notifications go into your feed, enable notifications. And if you're a late degree Pisces, go back to the segment with Aries. If you don't know your moon and rising, etc., search for how to run a free birth chart online, then come back to this report and then watch the segments for your moon and rising as well as your sun, because we're so much more than our sun sign, and you can use astrology to go deeper and pick up layers of your experience that you may have been missing all this time. If you love my content and you don't want to miss anything that I post and you want all of my content early, then go to anniehelpsyou.com, put your name and email address in there, click receive, you'll get a welcome letter, and in the welcome letter you'll get VIP access to my eclipse resource page, my retrograde resource page, my zodiac health tips, my 28-day very powerful virtual coaching program, and you'll get weekly astrology updates with all of the information that can help you make the most of the starry transits, including 1 month early, my monthly written star report that has the sweet and salty dates. These are the dates to be most awareful and careful of, and the dates to celebrate the most and plan your important things. And you get all of that as part of my VIP. Plus, podcast menus, and I know for sure YouTube don't always notify you whenever I post new content, even if you're subscribed, even if you click the bell, even if you enable notifications. So if you want to be sure that you don't miss anything from me, then the best way to do that is to be part of this VIP group, because I will let you know as soon as I have anything posted, and you will get early access to all of it. I also sometimes have private promos for my VIP group that the public never sees. And if you want to study astrology with me, go to www.beastropro.com, beastropro.com, to see my astrology certification course. If you want to learn astrology to help yourself and your friends, or you want to earn money, that is my specialty. I can tell you how to make your astrology practice work and earn money from your love of the stars. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.